on live. What was that? The Tampa Pro before that. So I'm back home. I love being home. And before I get started, I want to let you know, as soon as this wraps up, we're going to post another edition of No Way Jose. I did earlier in the week with Jose Raymond, the Boston Mass. We talked all about the Texas Pro, and especially focusing on Andrew Jacked, how good he is, what his potential is for the future. Before I get into your questions, which I hope you have some questions, I just want to say a little bit about what I have on the thumbnail. Classic. Is Classic Physique taking over, surpassing bodybuilding? In terms of popularity in general, I don't think open bodybuilding is going anywhere. Let me say that up front. I'm not trying to be a downer and say Mr. Olympia is going away. Classic Physique Olympia is going to be surpassing it, this and that. No, there's still a huge market out there, a big fan base for the big freaky guys. Rami, Andrew Jacked, Nick Walker, Hunter Labrada, William Bonac, Brandon Curry, Ian Valliere, the big freaky guys, monster size. But at the amateur level, we're seeing entries. Entries are really dipping and open in the bodybuilding, and they're going way up in men's physique has been huge for entries for a while, but now classic physique is definitely surpassing bodybuilding in terms of entries. Come on, computer screen. Just an easy example. We had a regional show that I was not able to attend. It was up in Vermont. It was the NPC Vermont Championships. It's always kind of a small show, obviously. It's up in Vermont, which is not the most populous state. It's not really near much, except Canada. So the bodybuilding only had, in the open bodybuilding, 4 total. They had 2 heavyweights, 2 light heavies, no supers, no middles, no lightweights, no bantams. They had 1 master competitor over 35, 1 over 4 bodybuilders. Physique, the open, into novice and they had 8. Classic physique had 9. And the consensus I get from talking to a lot of people is classic physique would appeal to them not just for the aesthetics of it, because you keep small weight, whereas a lot of open bodybuilders, obviously at the top ones, like some of them have very small waists, but a lot of guys get into bodybuilding, they do get bigger all over, including their guts, whereas classic physique has weight cap, and they see this not only as more aesthetically pleasing, it doesn't turn off the general public. People don't get disgusted when they see a classic physique guy walking around the way they might if they see like an off-season big Rami walking around. A lot of people would be like, "Oh, that's disgusting. That is just gross." I don't think anybody's saying that when they see Chris Bumstead walk by, or Terrence Ruffin walk by, or Ramondino walk by. And the second thing is health. It's so much healthier because, let's face it, it takes more gear to get enormous than it does to be a certain size. I know that's a very generalized statement. It's not true across the board. Generally speaking, if you're a guy who's 5'9", well, let's say that's the average American height, believe it or not, and you want to compete in classic, I think the amateur cutoff weight for classic physique is, let's see, 182, something like 190, 185, something like that, or even later. 5'9" in open bodybuilding to succeed, you have to be like probably about 220, maybe even super heavyweight. It would take a lot more drugs and a lot more food and a lot more time to build all that muscle mass. And we live in a much faster paced society now. People don't have the patience they used to. They don't have as much free time as they used to. We got to work a lot more because everything costs more money. So people want to get results faster. All right, let's see if you guys have any probably completely unrelated questions. Probably want to talk about Crezo or something. We'll see. Videos. Let's go. 5. When I get to the videos, here we go. Home. Okay, here we go. And over here to the live chat. Let's see what you guys got. Truth 1. Bikini surpasses all categories, says Truth 1. I've seen girls go from never touching a weight in their lives, never walking into a gym in their lives, to winning local bikini contests in like a month. Sometimes they turn pro. I've seen it within like 6 months of the first time they've ever touched the weight, because bikini is the division where you need the least amount of muscle mass and you don't have to be ripped at all. So it's more body fat than the other divisions, and it's less muscle mass than all the other divisions. So it's much more attainable. I could walk on a beach pick out a crowd each. I could pick out 10, 20 girls within 10 minutes that I could probably get on stage within a month and win, like a smaller regional, local show in bikini. BH Shaky 3, hard to say if Classic's taking over. Both classes are popping right now. I'd say, yeah, Open has had a really nice revitalization for sure. We're getting a new influx of talent, mostly from beyond the United States. It's, the Nigerians are doing so well. It's huge in the Middle East. It's huge in Brazil. So we're getting a big influx, a lot of new great bodybuilders from outside the U.S. Inside the U.S., we're not getting as many. The shows, our national shows, are pro qualified for bodybuilders. The numbers have been going down steadily over the past few years. Open more, in my opinion. When am I competing? I'm thinking over 60. So let's see. I will turn 60 in 2029, September. So I could do a show in 2030 in the over 60. Yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'm too old. I'll be 53 in a few weeks. So, yeah. Open more. When are you? Bipolar mom and former adult probation officer Ron. Everyone still wants to see a freak. Not everyone, but there's a lot of people who do still want to see a freak. But not everyone wants to see a freak. I can see a class physique guy at the gym or grocery store if I can't see a Kai Green or Branch Warren at those places. Yeah, I agree. I mean, for the people that are into open bodybuilding, classic it's like a weak substitute. It's like bodybuilding light. It's not enough mass. But there's a lot of people that are getting into the sport mainly because of all, through social media awareness for classic, for men's physique, and they're not interested in getting huge. They're not fans of muscles. You can't make people like what they don't like. But of course, that's the thing. Bodies, of course, open bodies, thing for you. Let's not forget 212, guys. Let's see. Truth one. All the broccoli head short would be like T-bone, LOL. So when you say broccoli head, these young kids now, they have the crazy hair. Like, I don't know. Broccoli heads are good. I haven't heard that description. I don't know if you made that up, but it's very accurate. They got like big, like a bird's nest of hair. That's like the new thing. I don't know why. I think it looks horrible. Reek Havoc says Open is more exciting, hands down. Yeah, I mean, that's your opinion. I know people that love Classic. That's their favorite division. They would much rather see Classic than Open. I don't know the numbers. We would have to do like a big survey. But yeah, Open is still always going to be the main draw. Like the Mr. Olympia weekend. I mean, VIP package. I don't know what they cost. They're all sold out anyway. I think it's like $1,000. Most of the people who buy those VIP packages, they're going to see primarily Mr. Olympia. That's their main interest. They want to see Rami, Hadi, Bonac, Hunter, Ben, Nick, Ian, Lessing. I'm forgetting people. Andrew just qualified. Randy Jones, men's physique will be bigger than classic physique if it isn't already. It probably is. I mean, if the pro shows I go to, it usually fit on one page for the speed. Men's physique almost always goes into a second page. There's that many. It's like that for 30 of them. Because I think like standard font, like 28 fit on a page, goes into page 2. Shows like Nationals, USA, the North American, the Universe, those men's physique classes are enormous. Because there's, A class for the shortest guys. It goes all the way to like B, C, D, E, F, G, H. I think I've seen H class. So like guys who are like 6'3", 6'4", and over. But every class, especially the class with the, what's going on with my life? It looks horrible on my screen right now. My Wi-Fi is great. I don't know why it's blurry. It looks perfect on my phone right here. Anyway, the classes are enormous at the amateur level for sure. Shows. Let's see. H says, were you 212? I have never been a pro. So, but if I had been a pro, I probably would have been a 212. I never had enough muscle mass to be an open pro. Never. And, I never had the right structure and shape to be a good pro. I could have turned pro as a master in something if I got lucky enough, but would I have been a good pro? Nah, no way. I'm realistic. I know what I look like. Reek Havoc again. It's R-E-E-K. He's spelling it in a different way. Geez, I don't know whether. I'm looking at it on my phone. It's like crystal clear 4K. It's an iPhone 13 Pro, whatever the newest one is. Computer screen's blurry as hell. Anyway, Reek Havoc, but Christ bumps it. It's Chris. It's just on a low dose test. Yeah, I don't want to get into that because people are. I don't know what anybody takes, and it's mind-boggling. Whenever I suggest that some guys don't use as much as others. It's always like a firestorm. Like people get really triggered if I suggest that maybe there's some guys that aren't on mega doses of gear and they still look that good. Because I think a lot of people, especially if they've used gear, they can't imagine that someone could use less gear than what they used and looked way better than them. But that's genetics. These guys, they are the genetic elite. You and I, most of you watching this, we're not the genetic elite. These guys are almost like another species. They're very different. I always say this, genetics like that are so rare. And you know, when I say genetics like that, I mean, people with those genetics, they would do well in pretty much any division, men's physique, classic, 212, whatever. They have that look. They have different structure. Their muscle bellies are rounder and fuller and longer. I could walk into a crowded gym with 100, 200 people on the workout floor, and I could pick out the people with the gifted genetics. There wouldn't be more than a couple of them. I'd go, that guy and that guy. That's it in this whole place. And maybe there wouldn't be anybody, you know, because it's rare. There might not be anybody out of 100 or 200 people that have that genetics that you see at a given gym. We're at 212, mountain. Frank Rizzo and mountain training lifting rocks and logs. Well, that's a real man. Yeah. You know, a lot of people have this idea that men shouldn't look good on purpose. They should just look good like accidentally. Like they shouldn't train to look good. They should, you know, just look for manual labor. Just wake up, roll out of bed looking like women say a snack. But you know, most people look at it. Okay, birthday is 263 total testosterone low for a 47-year-old man. Pretty low. I mean, how do you feel? It's Dr. Thomas O'Connor, who I've done videos with. I need to get with him again. I haven't talked to him in a long time. Yeah, I mean, it's the numbers are important, but more importantly is how do you feel? And I always say this because this is just my amateur observation. What's your sex drive like? Do you have a sex drive? You know, are you very interested in sex? Are you horny? Do you have erections when you wake up in the morning? If so, your test levels, whatever the number is, you're probably fine. If you have low sex drive, low sexual desire, erectile dysfunction, you probably have low testosterone. That number is low for you. Better with the high amount of testosterone in the body. There's no shame in TRT, guys. There's no shame at all. You know. As you walk on a beach right now, you know, so RJ Bodybuilding, did you see the update on him to see him beating Steve? No, he looks great. I don't see anybody beating Chris Bumstead right now. That's just my opinion. I have no horse in the game. I'm not like Chris Bumstead's best friend. We don't chat or anything. I just think he's got a package that they love. He's been Olympic champion 3 years in a row. You know, can Ramon beat him eventually? Why not? Who knows? Maybe. Can Ruffin beat him? Maybe. Who knows? You know, can Urs Kaczynski beat him? Who knows? I mean, there's always new guys coming up in classic, new talent. You know, maybe there'll be somebody that comes out of nowhere in this year or next year that's even more genetically gifted than Bumstead. Bumstead's it's a genetic firestorm. He's got the height, the structure with the width, the muscle bellies. This is like a perfect storm of genetic traits that this Chris Bumstead will inherit from his mom and dad. But yeah, I mean, to say that some guy will never win, I would never say that. You know, Romandino could win. He might never win. He might win, you know, 10 times. Who knows? You never can. Bipolar Mom again, a local show, not sanctioned show, not NPC show, Ron? No, that was an NPC show. It was, I don't think it's a national qualifier, but it was an NPC sanctioned event that I was talking about. Frank Rizzo, 244 ripped. Who's that? Ramondino, I guess you're talking about? Is that who you're talking about? I don't know. I don't know who 244 ripped. Let's see. Will the weight limit result in classic be a competition of the most bird boned? Yeah, I mean, I did a whole one of these a few weeks ago on how I believe that the weight limits for classic should stay where they are. They've already raised them twice since the division started. I don't think they need to go up anymore. If these guys want to get big, just let them go. Go to open. Just get big as you want and go to open. Like Horse MD. What's his name? Marcelino DeAngelis? Yeah, from Brazil. He's going open now because he could not make the weight. The last time he tried to compete in Brazil was a month or two ago. He couldn't. You know, he was way over. He was like almost 7 pounds over the weight. So if you can't make the weight, you know, maybe you were meant to be bigger and you should just take a little time, build That's what I say about all those guys. Cool, hey Ron, just seen you at Chicago Pro. I was hunting you down so you saw my book, but I left got really busy. Yeah, those shows, I mean, it's like one reason I wouldn't compete, because contest season, they go outside. I can't. When I go to those things, I'm the professor in every division. I can't leave. I usually don't have time. I guess if I really wanted to during, like, men's physique individuals or bikini individuals when they're just coming up on time. Yeah, I'm sorry you missed me. The best time to catch me, if you're going to one of these shows, just for future reference, is maybe like a half hour before the show starts. I'm usually right up front behind the judges. I got my chair. We're all, we're just waiting around. I might be doing like social media posting or something, or talking to somebody, but once the show starts, and once the judging is over, the final's over, I have to like do my wrap-up videos. I might have to do interviews with people right away. It's always like stuff needs to be get out there immediately, because people want results. They want things immediately. So yeah, for future reference, that's when you want to do it. Again, to remind you guys, when this is done, please come back to this channel for a new episode of No Way Jose, reviewing Texas Pro and Andrew Jacked with the Boston Mass Jose Raymond. Great episode that we did earlier in this week. That was Arturo, Big Lenny, Bipolar Mom. Hope they don't get rid of 212 to make room for Classic. No, I don't see that happening. But, when I say Classic is becoming more prominent. I mean, this is the second show I saw. Back at the Boston Pro in March, Classic was the last division to go, not open bodybuilding, which is very rare. It was always the awards. These contests usually almost always end with the awards for the open men. That's the very last, the best. Save the best for last. It's the most prestigious thing. So, but Bonnet got his award at the Pro for winning, and then they went into Classic. And at this last show, Texas Pro, it was a 2-day show. Yeah, 2-day show, like Tampa. So 212 and Classic were both held on Friday. The judging earlier in the day, in the morning, and then in the afternoon they did the finals. And 212 was not the last division to have the final. Classic. So in the previous to this, that would have been a Classic or division, and 212 would have been the last to get their award. So Classic is catching up. I don't think the 212 division is going in. I think it's here to stay. There's still a lot of great competitors in it, and I'm pretty sure Kamal Algarni is coming back for his title this year. There's a strong chance Derek Lunsford might still be there to defend his title. Sean Rita back for the 212, not the open. He wants his title back, and you have new people. Keon's going to be looking really good. Kareth Baggio, newer guy, had a couple wins. It's not going anywhere. 212 is fine. Andrew Jack, exclamation point. Yes, I'm lagging. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm looking at my phone. I have it set up on a little crappy tripod next to the PC, and there's no lag in that at all. I guess I will let you go, guys, because I don't want you to have to deal with the lagging. I can't read the last comment from Bipolar Mom. I can't go down any further on this. Oh, it's because it's chat. Is it why? It's because this thing's on? Yeah, there was an ad on it, and that's why. Okay, here we go. Okay, I can do that too, Ron. Yeah. Okay, Lake for Giants. What do you think the best timing would be for GH? Starting 3 IU per day? I am not an expert, but you want to take it when there's no glucose in your system. You want to take it on an empty stomach. So either first thing in the morning, and then you wait 20 minutes or 30 to eat. Or what I do is, if I get up a couple times during the night to pee, so usually the second time is around like 4 a.m. I just take it then, go back to bed for a couple hours. That works fine for me. You're pinning yourself, but it's just it takes me like 2 seconds. Okay, Birdie, I'm in Boston. Can you recommend a good TRT clinic? Well, there's the best legitimate one is the one I went to. It's called Men's Health Boston. They had their offices in Brookline. I think they moved to Newton Corner, but Men's Health Boston, very legitimate. It's run by Dr. Abraham Morgenthaler, who is at Harvard University, and he pioneered, one of the pioneers of TRT. He wrote a couple of very popular books on it. He's one of the foremost in the world on it. I was teaching for a couple of years. I was fortunate to be his patient and get to talk to him a little bit. So Men's Health Boston is the best place I would recommend in Boston. Stream is lagging the sound. Yeah, sorry. I'll have to get go. Vegeta should only be two divisions: mass monsters and aesthetic. That's a nice. That's an interesting concept. Johnson will always be that of individuals who always love that freak factor. 100%. Yeah, I mean, it's like, Arnold said, people, you go to the zoo to see the elephants, the giraffes, the lions, the tigers, the bears. You don't go to the giraffe. You don't go to the zoo to see squirrels, rabbits, cats, things you can see running around your own neighborhood. Muscular Jen MD says, did I let the chat know we got an all new Jose? Yes, again, this is the third time I've said it, but I keep saying it. As soon as I read and I don't want you guys getting all frustrated. New episode of No Way Jose starring the Boston Mass Jose Raymond coming right after this. Right after. PT, does Andrew Jack look that big in person? Oh yeah, when you stand next to this guy, especially I'm under 5'8" now. This guy's 6'2", shoulders out to here. Oh my gosh. Sorry. He's huge. He's huge. It's not huge like an overwhelming thickness the way like Rami. That's just a lot of crazy mass. He's tall and he's wide and he's still big. He's got a tiny waist. It's the craziest thing. Is that more? Is that it? Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys go because the quality of this is lagging and I don't know why, and I don't want to torture you with that anymore. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, leave some comments, and of course, right after this, check out No Way Jose. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.